Hey, welcome everybody. We're going to start a new segment for social media. We want to introduce some of the key people that are involved here in FactorE Motors, and I'm very pleased to announce that I'm introducing Mr. Brent Lacis, one of our co-founders. And yeah, so let's kick this off. All right. Brent, could you just tell us a little bit about who you are, background, family, passions, interests?
All right. So my name is Brent. Been in the automotive industry for about 24 years now. Started off as a lube technician at a Ford dealer. Eventually got signed up as an apprentice auto technician at Honda. I went through the Honda and Acura apprenticeship program here at BCIT. Spent many years at various Honda dealerships, learning the trade, getting good at it. And then one day Tesla decided they were going to open up shop in Vancouver. A friend of mine sent me the ad that they were looking for a technician, and lo and behold, I became the first Tesla technician for the West Coast. And then the friend who recommended the job became the second technician in the West Coast. He's also one of our other co-owners, co-founders, Jeffrey Levangi, who can't be here right now, but he will be back shortly to join our team.
Cool, that's awesome, man. It's awesome. It's good to know you're the very first technician on the West Coast. Why are you passionate about EVs? What excites you about them?
Well, I've always been a bit of a gearhead, a car person, definitely, first and foremost. Loved cars my entire life, as long as I can remember being a small child. And then, I heard about this company called Tesla. Even years ago, before Tesla, I thought, electric vehicles are going to be the future. Yeah, when I heard about Tesla and the great things they were doing with the Roadster, I thought, this is the future. The first time I went for a ride in one, I thought this is the smoothest, fastest, the best all-around car I'd ever driven. Mm-hmm. And it's just kind of taken off. I still love gas vehicles. They still have a place in my heart, a fond, Mm-hmm. EVs are the future, and I'm always wanting to learn about the future and what's coming, and keep progressing. So.
Okay. Can you talk a little bit about a couple times that you won the Tesla Tech Award Olympics for the world, and you got your picture with Elon? Tell us a little bit about that event.
Yeah, trip down history or memory lane there. Back in 2015, something that I've always wanted to do was compete in some kind of technician competition. Honda used to do it years before. By the time I became a licensed technician, they had discontinued that practice, so there was no more competition for me to enter. Tesla decided in 2015 that they were going to run what they call the Tesla Technician Olympics. Mm-hmm. I was fortunate enough there was an online portion. Technicians from around the world competed, and they were going to select one from North America, one from Europe, and one from Asia Pacific regions to compete. I submitted the online test. It was quite involved. I can't remember how many questions, but quite a few questions to qualify. I ended up being the #1 qualifier in North America, so I got to represent Canada and US and Mexico at the Olympics, and I ended up winning it for diagnostics.
And how excited were you when you won that event?
It was the most nerve-wracking, anxiety-ridden day I'd ever had. Being down at the California factory in Fremont, being surrounded by my peers, it seemed like half the service engineering team was there. They were the ones judging my performance. So they're actively looking over my shoulder. It was the greatest experience as a technician, I'd say. That's the highlight of my technical career, was competing at that Olympics.
That's just so cool. It's such a great story. Why did you co-found FactorE, Vancouver's first Tesla aftermarket shop? What drove you to do this?
I worked many years. I was, like I said, I was the first technician on the West Coast, dedicated to the service center here. I watched Tesla grow from, I think it was only 20 or 30 cars on the entire western half of the country. And I watched them grow to somewhere, north of 25,000 cars in the same region. And what didn't grow quite as quickly was the service support. I worked up my way up the ladder to become shop foreman, shop supervisor, and then finally service manager at the West 4th location. And something that always kind of frustrated me, even as a manager, was that the support was that we weren't able to support the customers as well as I would have liked. That's not specific to just the service center, that's Tesla-wide. They sell so many cars, but yet the service is always lagging, and it's a hard thing to keep up with service. So I think with Factory Motors, what I wanted to provide was somewhere else for the customers to go to. Not competing with Tesla, but if anything, helping them by taking away some of that excess workload, by being able to service vehicles that are out of warranty and performing regular maintenance on cars that are still in warranty, but to a very high level, to a Tesla level. So that's a Tesla certified level is what I'm looking for.
And I know you so well, and that you love talking about Teslas and talking to people, and you know, one of the things you talked about is being able to actually talk to human beings. Can you just elaborate on that a little bit and why that's important to you?
Well, I think the feedback I would get as a service manager was I can't get a hold of anybody. I can't talk to anybody. And I love interacting with customers and just talking about cars. Like, I don't even care, Tesla or not. I mean, I love Teslas, but I also love cars in general, and I will talk about anything, you know, till the end of time, right? As Sean is so fond of telling me. But I think going to Tesla, and again, Tesla has to be like this because they are busy, right? The amount of volume that they see at the service center is absolutely, it's enormous, and they can't keep up. But I like interacting with customers, being able to explain things fully. You know, I understand as a customer, it's frustrating to pick up your car and not really understand what did they do to my car. Why did I just spend $2,000 on my car? And at FactorE, we want to be able to provide this. So we'll explain to you why this was unnecessary and why was this maybe not so necessary. And we'll go over everything with you in detail. And we're here for you. We're here to talk to you. We'll explain things to you. And if you just want to talk shop, we can talk shop.
That's awesome, Brent. Thank you so much for your time. And if anyone wants to reach out to Brent or us at FactorE, the best way to get in touch with us is factoremotors.ca. Thank you so much.